Hello viewers, good day to you all. You're welcome to today's class. I remain your pro guide Aisha Bendi for chemistry. The video is sponsored by Proch Connect, which is an educational app for undergraduates, College of Education, University and Polytechnic students. Can they go to the Play Store, search for Proch Connect for you to get started? So in today's class, we shall be discussing um, and explaining how to write chemical compounds according to IUPAC. So the acronym IUPAC stands for International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So we are going to use the IUPAC nomenclature to name chemical compounds. Understanding the systematic ways chemists name and also represent molecules, writing of chemical formulas or chemical compounds is all about. We have different types of chemical compounds. For the purpose of this class, we will list and also explain four types of compounds. And then we have some compounds for us here to name today. Um, the first type of compound we have is called the ionic compound. Ionic compounds comprises of cations, which are the positively charged ions, and also anions, which are the negatively charged ions. Another type of compound we have is called the covalent compound. The covalent compounds are compounds that comprise or comprises of non-elements sharing electrons. The third type is the acid and the bases. The acid and bases have special type of compounds with specific naming rules, while the fourth compound is the organic compound. The organic compound comprises of carbon, hydrogen, and often oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and other elements. So these are the few types of compounds we have. So let's begin with the questions we have on the board. We have 5 questions here which says that we should write the formula for the following compounds. We see formulas all around, but sometimes we see the formulas, we know how to name them, but the challenge might come from how are these compounds even formulated? How did they come about? Writing the compounds. That's what we want to show us how to do today, basically. There are some hints we need to know when writing compounds. So the first hint we need to know, or should I call it hints, or I call it the steps on how to write chemical compounds. Okay, the first thing we need to do is to write out the symbol for the element or radical in question. That is the element that is writing out the symbol of the element, or if it's a radical that is involved in the question given. Okay, so the next step is for us to write down the value of the charge of the element or radical involved. The third step or hint is for us to write down the formula of the compound. All of these steps is what we'll use in solving each of these questions. But there's something we need to note. The values of the charges are written as subscripts. You know that we have what we call subscripts and superscripts. When you have a subscript x, this x here is a subscript. So this is what we mean by the subscript, okay? So the value of the charges are written in form of what? Subscripts. We write this after we cross multiply. There's something we need to note. When the charge is 1, we don't write out the 1, okay? We just leave the compound or the element or radical the way it is, okay? All of this will be clearer when we start writing out all of this formula, all of these compounds. So let's begin now. The first one question is saying that we should write out the formula for the for iron 2 chloride. So for iron 2 chloride, what we have is Fe2 plus and also we have Cl minus. So let's bring out the charges for iron. Iron here is 2, while chlorine here is 1. The charges are usually positive. So we know that this 2 is for Fe, right, which is iron. This 1 is for this chlorine here. So the next step now is for us to cross multiply. We'll cross multiply this way. This ion here has a value of 1. So here we have Fe. Since it's 1, we don't write down the 1, right? And the next, which is Cl. And Cl has a charge here. When we cross multiply this way, okay, here is going to be, that is 2. So FeCl2 is known as iron 2 chloride. Just as simple as that, okay? So let's move on to the second one, which is iron 3 chloride. Iron 3 chloride is going to be Fe3 plus. Since it's iron 3, then chloride, which is chlorine, that is Cl minus, okay? So let's bring out the charges here. The charge here, the charges here is 3, while here is 1. So this 3 here is for iron, and this 1 here is for chlorine. So here we just cross multiply as usual. This 3 is for the chlorine here, the iron is for the is 1 here. So when we cross multiply here, we are going to have Fe here is 1, so we don't need to write out the 1. Then we have Cl3. So here we have Cl3. So this compound is iron 3 chloride, okay? We just need to know how to write the radicals. We need to go back and revise our radicals, okay? So this is just radicals is is under the basic chemistry in our secondary schools, okay? So let's move on to the third one, which is potassium heptaoxochlorate. So this is going to be potassium, that is K plus. So this is the element. Then heptaoxochlorate 6 is Cr2O7 2 minus. So this is the element, well, this is a radical. So the charges here is plus 1, why the charges here is plus 2, right? So this one here is for the potassium, why this is for Cr2O7, okay? So from here, simply we cross multiply. We are using the same steps. So this is going to be K2, then Cr2O7. This is 1, so we just leave it this way. So this is potassium, okay? Heptaoxochlorate 6. You know where we got the 6 from? The 6 is coming from when we calculate the oxidation number of chlorates here. It gives us a value of 6. That's another topic called oxidation number, which we'll discuss in subsequent classes, okay? So let's move on to the next one, which is question 4. It says we should write the formula for calcium hydrogen trioxocarbonate 4. So this is going to be calcium. So calcium is Ca2 plus, okay? So this hydrogen trioxocarbonate is a radical, which is as HCO3 minus. So this is a radical. So the charge for calcium here is 2, while the charge here is 1, okay? So this is for calcium, while this is for HCO3. So here we cross multiply as usual. So this is going to be Ca1, so we don't need to include the 1. Then we have HCO3. So this is 2 now. You know, this is the 2 here. So there's something I want us to know. When a radical is doubled or tripled, irrespective of the number, then the radical is to be in a bracket. So this is the radical we have here. So this radical here is doubled, so it has to be in a bracket, okay? So this formula, this compound now is in calcium hydrogen trioxocarbonate 4, okay? So just as simple as that. Let's move on to the last one, which is ammonium tetraoxosulfate 6. So ammonium is NH4 plus. Ammonium is a radical, and this tetraoxosulfate 6 is also a radical, and that is SO4 2 minus. So the charges here for ammonium here is 1, while here is 2. So this is for NH4, while this is for SO4. So here when we cross multiply here, we are going to have NH4. This radical is doubled, so that means it's going to be in a bracket. Then SO4. Okay, so this SO4 is 1, so we leave it the way it is. So this is ammonium tetraoxosulfate 6. As simple as that. Okay, viewers, we've been able to write out all the 5 compounds that have been given to us according to IUPAC, that is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Just as every class, after every tutorial, we give an activity. So the activity for today is for us to write the chemical compound, a very simple compound called magnesium sulfate. So let's see those of our viewers that will get this answer correctly. This is just a very simple and a short activity. Write the chemical formula for magnesium sulfate. Okay. So, viewers, if you have any question under this topic on how to write any chemical compound, kindly bring in your questions and we shall take it up from there. Okay. Thank you for your support on the application on Proj Connect. We appreciate your continuous support. Do not forget to invite your friends, family, loved ones to use the app. The application is very important for undergraduates, university students in Polytechnic, College of Education, in colleges, just name it, okay? I remain your pro guide, Aisha Bende. The video is sponsored by Proj Connect. Thank you once more for watching and bye for now.